That's interesting. I'll be looking forward to following up on that later on. But for now, let's go build a factory. We have two things left on our to-do list. Technically four, but like I'm probably going to skip standardizing electrical networks. We need to add artillery to the walls. We need to upgrade our circuits production. Our circuits production is actually our limiting factor in, well, it's like world's tiniest lake here. Our circuit production is our bottleneck right now in science. So I would really like to get that resolved. And I think I've come up with a design that I like for the EM plants. I think it's going to look something like this. Foundry here. Iron plate here. Doing Core Warrior with Spear. Ocean, or are you doing something else with it? Because I think Spear still hits like a truck, if I'm not mistaken. You go like this, and like this. No, like this and like this. And then this goes underground like this. And then it goes like that. And this is your tileable unit. So it's not super compact. It's the only thing I don't like about it, but I need to leave space for power poles anyway. And actually, I could get it more compact. Hold on. Because you go here, but then you could go here. And then you would just copy this part through. So you can actually get it fair. You can get it really compact. I think I like that. And then you would go here, you would go here, you would go here, you would go here. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. Spear, especially Spear 4, just deletes people doing 20k crits with GSF1. So do you think that, because Arc Divider got nerfed, and Slicing Maelstrom, or whatever the Dagger F1 got nerfed, do you think that people are going to start moving back to Core Warrior with Spear like they did when Spear first came out, or do you think it's not quite that dire yet? How do you want to tile this? Also, how do you want to power this? I need to go get extra medium power poles. Because I do think that the nerfs to outgoing damage that we got in this patch, like the Hollowsmith nerfs and the Berserker nerfs, those are the nerfs that I was kind of expecting to see when they changed the way that the barrier cap works. Because I figured they were going to decrease barrier, but then they were also going to bring down outgoing spike damage, because outgoing spike damage is like why people ran barrier in the first place. But I guess it's like a bit of a better late than never kind of situation to at least have them now. And I wonder if it's just going to push people off of Berserker entirely and just have them go back to doing Core Warrior shenanigans. So this is the tileable unit here. Grab this, save it. Foundry green circuits. Save it. Destroy it. Turn your robot board on. And then you need to figure out where you're going to put it. You could just put it over top of where the old circuit plant is. And maybe you should, because otherwise that space isn't really going to do anything. You could also shove it over here. You have a lot of open space out here that you could make use of. I'm just going to put it up here in this corner. I like the idea that the circuits are nearby to the main base, so we'll keep rolling with that. Core was already doing more damage than Zerker. The problem is that Arc Divider more range and it one-shots Core Warrior before Core Warrior gets close. It's going to be replacing the Zerker. Interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I didn't think that this patch was going to really shake up the meta that significantly, so I'd be pleasantly surprised if it ended up doing so. So 12, 24, 36, 48 green circuits per second. And you could go to turbos. I don't think I want to go to turbos yet. I can't explain why. And then we flip this horizontally so that they can just leech off the same copper pipe. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip this horizontally so it leeches off the same iron pipe. 2, 3, 4. How many? We are currently making 4 blue belts of greens, which means we probably need more than that. I'm going to go crazy. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I accidentally grabbed a rail chain signal. You should connect pipes first. No, actually, that's where you wanted it. Oh, I don't have game audio. Hold on. I forgot. I've been doing some offline recording of Reyes 2. And so I had to switch my scene over because my streaming scene and recording scene are like copies of each other. Which is probably not the smartest way to set that up, but you know, there it is. Please stop. So at this point, I want to turn this station off. And I want to turn this station off. And I want to let the green circuit plant run out of materials. Because I'm going to be replacing it with this factory entirely. And then you go 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to get 8 blue belts of green chips. And we're going to love it. I need more medium power poles. Do I have, need substations as well. Medium power poles. Yoink. Substation. Substation. Yoink. You're just going to sit here to connect everything. Fill the rest of these in. Work on connecting these undergrounds. You're going to need to put them here and here if you want them to be symmetrical. then just have it come like that. And then this, you should be able to copy across to here. And to here. And to here. And to here. You didn't even finish your pipe work. This is lazy. And I guess I'll have it feed in from this side. So iron is going to be here, which means copper will be there. This I can copy through. Doink, 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 doink. And then connect this side. Copy you down. Okay. You are critically short on foundries. But what are you going to do? Just send them max length. Because you don't really know where they're going to line up again. There, I guess. Fighting PPT with Hells, but your comp wasn't completely meta. You ended up being 50-50 on the wins tonight. I mean, sometimes fighting with like an off-meta comp is kind of fun. It depends. Like, we were off-meta on, I think, Reset? I think it was Reset. And it ended up making Ruthless relatively frustrated, I think. Justifiably, because people also weren't playing well. Like, if you have good players who know what they're doing, it's fine to play off meta, you can have some fun. But if you have players who are showing up on, like, I don't know, DPS Soul Beast, and then just casting skills at random, and, like, not really contributing to any kind of group cohesion, it's the kind of thing that can tilt you to the moon. So it really depends on whether you've got players who are capable of, like, being off meta, but still can take things relatively seriously. Or whether you've got players who are just like, I enjoy a big number, therefore I press longbow 5. Also, it had been so long since we had fought CO. It was nice seeing you guys whenever that was, like a week or 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was. There's some groups where, like, post-restructuring, I just feel like I don't see them anymore. So it was nice that we were able to link up for a bit and get some brawls in. Alright, so this is pipe work out. Yeah? Yeah. You're going to need a ton more foundries and a ton more EM plants. Just give me all of these. I don't know how many I'm going to need, so give me all. Because we still have to do reds and blues after this, too. Hey, greens are kind of the backbone. The rest of them should come together fairly quickly, but still. You actually don't connect to the grid right now. Maybe I do want to reconnect this. Oh, you also don't connect here. I can fix that too, though. I would like to have medium power pole, please. So these should connect fairly easily like this. And then we also get them to look neat. We have like a pattern here, which is pleasing to me. Now you all have power. Yes? Yes. Then, what are you doing with this belt? I think you're sending it along this way. So that's your 8. The only reason that I don't want to do these as turbos is because, one, I don't think I actually need 8 turbo belts of green circuit. And 2, because I'm a little concerned that I actually don't have enough tungsten ore to produce that much. Like, we have to claim this patch in order to get more tungsten ore, and even then, it's going to be kind of tricky to pull it out of that lava field. I would just feel more comfortable if we stuck to building blues until I've achieved railgun. And then once we have railgun, I will be much more confident in my ability to defeat Demolisher. Can I please have some of these? Thank you. Copy this turn. There we go. And then I also need to put an 8x8 balancer in here. I don't know how big an 8x8 is, but it's actually pretty slim, all things considered. And if you go here, pull you down a little further, pull you down a little further. How are you guys doing on emptying? Not bad. So, all of this can come up. Just don't trust my drones to do precision work. Cut this out, cut all this out. Temporarily, give me garbage collection and set it to none iron plates. And then rip this apart. Because I don't want to have these iron plates on me. And then with the space that we're going to clear up here, we are going to put in our new train stations. And this stop can also... No, that stop should not be. There's actually a ton of green circuits here still. I want you to keep hauling those. Please empty those chests out, otherwise it's going to be a nightmare trying to move them all away. So, we are going to need 4 train stops here. I actually think I want to trim this back a little bit. We're going to need a pair of 141 green circuit pickup. And then we are going to need a single molten iron drop-off, and we're going to need a single molten copper. We can trim to here. And that'll give us a couple green circuits, but at the end of the day, that's fine. And then all of these random iron plates are just going to flow back into the logistics network. So the iron train isn't going to get summoned for a while because it's not going to have anything to do. And that'll be fine. Also, our suit battery holds up insanely well. Our charge barely dips, and we have been doing some pretty extended construction here that should be draining that battery pretty severely. So very pleased with how the new mech armor is working. We may actually, like, never run out of power ever again. Can't insert assembly machine 3. It's okay, we're almost done. They're not quite gonna make it. Alright. I'll put some of these extra blue belts away. There you go. Better? I'm gonna say better. Let's go take the rest of this apart now. Also that power pole, please. I guess these are queued up for other bots to take care of. So we should be able to leave that alone. And we can work on planning our station. So I need a 141 pickup. Which I am now realizing I just deleted. But this'll do. You're a 141 pickup. You should grab the tracks too, so you know where it lines up. Yeah, grab like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like right here should be good, and then back it up by 3. Because you'll need to put the station in. Station doesn't really want to line up, but you can slide all of these down by 1. And then you're going to need to change the color on the lights. Did you ever set these up? No, they're blue. That's wrong. You want these to be primary green. Kind of like a vivid green, too. Maybe like a 230, 40, 40. Give it like a nice bright green to signify that it's green circuits. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Come down here. And then I also need to power you. How am I going to get you to jump this balancer? I don't think I need to. I can just have you come from up here. I hate how that lines up. I'm not going to get a better lineup anywhere. At all. Maybe if it comes up and along this way. Yeah, I hate all these options. What about like this? Oh, that works. That's much better. Very pleased with how that goes. Alright, so you're good. I do need to wire you to here. Then I need to take this, flip it horizontally. Put a second station in. Wire this. Bring this belt over. The other thing that we could do here, that I'm not going to do, but we could do, is we could just have like priority splitters that feed off into the train stop, and then whatever doesn't go into the train stop passes through into like a red circuit factory and then a blue circuit factory, because they're all going to be next door. But I don't want to do that because I like putting things on trains and I like seeing trains go. So we're not going to do it. Finally, you can change this color. What color is your green stop? 110, 255, 25. Maybe I should change the lights then. 110, 255, 25. It's more of like a lime green, I suppose. 10, 255, 25. You are enabled when green circuit is greater than 48 times 200 times 4. Copy it over here. And then you can rename this to 141 green circuit pickup. Green circuit, right? Not green chip. Yeah, green circuit pickup. Good. Copy, paste. All right, so that's the green circuit stations ready to go. And then grab one of your classic Y junctions here. Tack that onto the end. Then we need 2 fluid stations. I would also like the fluid stations to load on the outer side. Can I please have tanks? Tanks. There you are. And you should probably grab track to line these up with as well. So the station is going to look like this. You're going to put it right about here. Oh, this is going to look really cool. I love building big. I think big things look cool. You're going to come over here. You're going to need a lot of pumps for this. You're also going to need 2 more train stations. Which you have. You can get those. You should also light the bottom wall. It's so dark over here. And pumps. Do we make pumps here? I don't think we make pumps here because I don't have engines in this logistics network yet. I should, but I don't. So I need to go grab engines instead. And then I need to make a lot of pumps. Actually, you have engines. You have 30 engines on you. You actually only need steel. That should do. And then you also want to connect these grids up. Put your stations in. Wire them. You are going to be... Have I color-coded the molten iron stops? I have. You're going to be molten iron drop-off, because iron's on the inside. You're going to be molten iron drop-off. And then I need a molten copper drop-off. Where would you put it? There should be a molten copper drop-off in here somewhere. Copper plate pickup. Molten copper drop-off. Those are going to be train limited to 1. These also need to be train limited to 1 because we're going to have a pair of 141 green circuit trains running around. Then, how do you want to connect these rails together? Do they have a midpoint? No. They don't have a midpoint. Then I think you probably just want to run this out this way. And you want to have this one... You don't want this one to be a Y. You want to run these both out by 1. You want to have this one turn as sharply as possible. And then peel it back into here. And then you just want to peel into here. That'll work. And then here, you're going to have a classic T. Should we have something other than a classic T to deal with like throughput and rail congestion issues? Yes. Are we going to? No. Because that would take a lot of work. We might upgrade it later, who knows. Never say never or whatever, but for right now, I'm kind of saying never. Iron hooked up. That's copper. Why are you talking to each other? Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. That's bad. I need to purge this entire system. Thank God for the purge network button. Oh, you're going to be a little problem. I'll have you slide around like that instead. And then you can come over here. Come over here, and then you can just be one longer. Boom. That's going to turn all of the wire foundries on. And it does look like they are happily running. I just need to see molten iron come in. What are my molten iron trains doing? You're waiting at molten iron. You're both waiting at molten iron drop-offs. You should not be doing that. Oh, these don't have buffer space. Alright, we gotta go fix that. It thinks those trains are more full than they're supposed to be. But we can clean that up. It's just nice to be working on a problem that I understand. After the struggles with the walls. And it is going down. But after the struggles with the walls, just ready to tackle problems that I feel like I've got a grasp on. I'm going to change a couple things around for you here. You go like that. Wire both of those. That shuts that off correctly. No, you do have buffer space. Why did you count wrong? 295 less than 200. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Oh, this needs to be less than 50k. That's fine. And then presumably this one too. Is that going to be true for every place you're dropping off molten metal? Did you screw that up everywhere? Yes, you did. Well, at least you're catching it now. Anywhere else that you drop molten metal off? I don't think you drop it off at any of the sciences. I think the sciences are all plates all the time. And all of the old factories, like the engine units and all that kind of stuff, they're all going to be the old ways as well. I think that's good. I think that's fine. Yum. Let's go back to working on circuits. How's this stone mine doing? Stone mine's doing great. Stone mine's having a wonderful time. Now this is still at 3100. The train not working anymore? It should be. I'm gonna keep watching it. I would want to see... Well, maybe it's just not making the right stops. You know what? It's probably caught right now dropping off a place that needs uranium ammo. And that's why none of the building is progressing, because it's busy with a stop. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Although this belt isn't hitting full saturation. But I think that's fine. How's your power grid dealing with all this? It's time for another nuclear reactor. Okay. Where do we fit one of those in? Yeah, this thing is running at full tilt. So I think you go like this. You flip this horizontally. And then can you just run it off the same water pipe? You really shouldn't. You should probably run it off a new dedicated water pipe. So that would mean putting it here. And then you're going to have to hook up water to it. And they said that he was crazy for automating offshore pumps. Well, who's laughing now? It's probably still you, but it does feel good to just paste it down. So that's going to bring a third nuclear reactor online. That is going to help minimize the impact on our power grid that all of these EM plants are about to have. Oh, you know why it's not full saturation is because we're technically not producing enough iron plates. Because these, at the end, should be choking on iron every once in a while. Yeah, you can see it just stuttering on iron there. We need to put like a speed 1 into each of our iron foundries if we really wanted to care about it being ratio perfect, but I don't think I care that much about it being ratio perfect at the end of the day. Automating offshore pumps good. Automating 4,000 of them, still overdoing it. You don't know how many nukes I'm going to build. I thought I was never going to need more than one of these things. I just built number 3. Also, it's possible that we might tile this nuclear reactor up even further. In which case, the red chip factory is probably going to go like here, is where it's going to start. But we can start exploring ratio for that at least. So, EM plant, red chip, wants 1.3 wire per second. You make 12. 12 divided by 1.3. 9. What does that mean? It's been a long time. It means that one copper wire foundry can support 9 electromagnetic plants. But your limiter here, I think, is going to be plastic, if anything. How much plastic do you produce right now? Show me average plastic over like 10 minutes. You're producing 1,800 a minute. Where does it go? Some of it goes into low-density structures, which then get eaten by yellow science. Some of it goes into... Well, just look. No, not production statistics. Factorio. Plastic. LDS. And advanced circuits, and that's it. So there's a very small amount of it that's going to go to LDS, but like 80 to 90% of the plastic that we produce is going to wind up in advanced circuits. So we can take 1,800 per minute times like 0.8. That's 1,400 plastic per minute divided by 60. We've got about 24 plastic per second to play with before we have to think about scaling up our plastic production. And one of these needs 0.6. So 24 divided by 0.6 gives us 40 of these. I like that. That's a really round number. 40 times 0.5. We're going to be making 20 red chips per second. What does the base currently do? $630 a minute. So like 10 a second. So we're going to double our red chip production by building 40 of these. Sounds great to me. And one of you runs 9. So 2 of you is going to run 18. If I give you a pair of speed 1s, I can get 2 of you to run 20. Are you going to be belt throughput limited at any point on 1.33 times 20? It's 26.6. You're going to want 1 belt exclusively of copper wire. The other belt is going to be half plastic, half green circuit, and then there's going to be output for red circuit. So I think the way that looks is going to be something like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 15, 20, 5. Well, no, let's see. You here, you here. Red output here. Inputs here. Wonder if that's going to be fast enough. It should be fast enough. That's kind of sick. I think it's way wider than it needs to be. But it's kind of neat. A little bit? No, it's so much wider than it needs to be. 2 extra rows. Well, and how do you want to do it? How many do 20 of these consume? 1.33 times 20. That was 26. Yeah, that's 26.6. What if you ran input down the middle? So you slid this over by 1. And then you had input. And then you had boundary. And you had something like this. So this would be your copper wire belt. And then that would be your plastic and green circuit belt. That's much more compact. And then you can just run red circuits out the back. Like so. And pass them through like a splitter. The way that you have been doing it for a while. And then you would double that. That's not a bad footprint out. Excuse you. That's really not a bad footprint. So splitter here. Output left. Filter on none. Output left, filter on none. And then you go like boom, boom. Something like this. And then you need output as well. You're out of blue belt already? That's crazy. I love this river of green circuits. I can't wait to use it. We're not really doing anything with it right now, but soon, man, soon. Also, this is a wild footprint for... Like, this is double the production of this. The space age buildings really are something else. So we're gonna run down like that. We can trim this off the end. You flip horizontal. Flip horizontal. Flip horizontal. Copy the belt down the middle. And then you need to figure out how to power all this. I think you want to do that. It just means that you can't get as clever with the inserters on the output side as you wanted to. Then this becomes tileable. Then this becomes tileable. If you remove those inserters first. Obsolete. 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 No, not obsolete. That was the wrong one. Put those back. There you go. Obsolete. Then you can tile this together. Okay. We need 4 more EM plants. We're also out of storage space on Fulgora again. What's full? 158,000 iron plates. Are we destroying iron plates? We are. We're just not doing it fast enough. Yeah, we're not doing it fast enough. Same thing for, I assume, copper wire and green circuits. It's okay. I mean, that base runs. It's just slower than it could be because we can't destroy things as fast as we make them. So I'm going to leave it for a bit. Also, I don't think I need you anymore. We can clear that out. I don't know why I have calcite in my inventory. You can have that. We haven't received new EM plants yet. Why? Circuit condition issues, apparently. Are you guys... Are you set to not run if you're at 250? Yeah, okay. Well... you could have been doing a lot more runs than you were. But you weren't. But now we have it fixed. It is going to put a brief hold on our EM plant project, but that's fine. New nuclear reactor is up and running. We now produce 1.5 gigawatts of power. And then this thing is ready to go. I'm just waiting for the green circuit station to empty itself so that I can relocate it. Which kind of means that we could maybe decorate a bit. Make this place look a little cooler. Take these green lights, put them over here. This is like basically a final factory. The only way we would ever possibly upgrade this is beacons. Excuse you? That's gonna be, well, no, you simply don't have the right bullets. That wall will get easier to hold as soon as you have uranium in, but you don't. The only way we'd ever upgrade this is if we decided we wanted to use beacons, and I just don't want to use beacons for this playthrough. I think that what we have now is plenty cool as is. Yeah, or just do direct machine insertion. Not going to use any modules? No. I could, but I ratioed these out so they fill a blue belt exactly. The only place I would maybe need to use modules is putting speed ones into these foundries. But I'm not like the other Factorio gamers. I recognize that now these resources are actually infinite. And so I feel no need to like prod these out. And I also feel no need to use speed modules on them as well, because speed modules are just kind of like a beacon but worse. I'm just like, I'm different. I like a factory that's big. I see the builds that people make on Reddit of like, here's my one legendary foundry with like 15 legendary speed 3 legendary module beacons around it. And it makes, you know, 14,000 iron plates a second and it's one foundry. And I'm like, that's neat. But so's this. So is this behemoth footprint foundry with all these moving parts that makes a ton of noise when you're standing around it. This guy is cool too. Especially because the footprint for train stations are already so big. Like, I think it just looks weird when you have like 4 train stations lined up that are running one foundry. And if that's something that other people find fun, I get it. I'm not saying like, oh, you're enjoying the game wrong. You have to enjoy the game my way instead. I'm just saying, I enjoy the game this way. I like the big footprint. I like the big... I like big. I like this. I like that this is huge. It's just like this whole assembly down here. I like that this is big. Like everything's just going on all the time. I just like big stuff. Yeah, the bunch of machines churning at 10x is fine, but like this build is very precise, right? We have 8 EM plants working. It's making 48 green chips a second. And we have it feeding into a blue belt that carries 45. So we could speed module it, but speed modulating it just means we would need to start trimming parts off the build. It's ratioed around the belt. So a speed module isn't really going to increase our throughput on it because we can't cram more stuff onto a blue. We could take it up to a turbo belt, but that would only take us from 8 to 10 machines. When we have stack inserters, we could think about doing stack insertion, but we don't have stack inserters yet, so we don't have to think about it. I think it's going to take a while to empty this station, unfortunately. I might try and hasten it a bit myself. I do like how cool this looks with the lights on, though. Should probably cement this up at some point. Yeah, stack inserters actually kind of go crazy. Stack inserters and the research that just lets you stack, like, straight out of drills. Do I have any drills running right now? Yeah, like these guys. Being able to just stack natively onto belt so you have faster train loading is also really cool. While I wait for this green circuit stop to unload, I think I'm actually going to go set up more mines. Because don't we only have 1 copper mine running right now? No, we have 2. This one's running. It's got 3.9. This one's 7.3. How are our iron mines looking? This stone mine is fine. It didn't look fine there, but it's chilling. Iron mine here is still at 5.8. Iron mine here is 4.9. All of our mines are actually kind of fine. Coal's 1.5, but we're not consuming coal that fast. Uranium is still holding steady at 517. But we really need to think about expanding out there relatively soon. I guess the other thing I could set up while we're just sitting around is I could start doing artillery. My artillery shell configuration. Give me a roboport here. Get rid of that one. Trim that power line back. And then pull this power line up. I'm feeling exceptionally lazy. And I think that I'm just going to build shells directly on top of the existing bot mall. Entirely with logistics bots. Maybe we get to a point later where I feel like training explosives in. But I don't currently feel like training explosives in. So I'm going to need chem plants for this. Also, where's my obsolete items? Electric mining drills? Very obsolete. I don't need these on me. Thank you. Chem plant. Chem plant, chem plant, chem plant. Here you are. So what do we want to aim for? Here's our humble assembly machine 3. Here's our humble artillery shell. You make 0.08 artillery shells per second. I think I would like to make an artillery shell per second. That would be 12 and a half assembling machines. Let's round to 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Artillery shell. 14. We're going to need 0.66 times 14 explosives. It's going to be 9.24 explosives per second. Divided by 0.5. That's going to be 18 chem plants working full time. Let's say 20. Actually, I'm thinking we could put this down at the military station. We have extra room for stuff down here. And it would be a natural fit to put a bunch of explosives in the same place. Also, what is going on here? Why aren't you keeping up? It's because you're low on oil. We have so much territory that we need to claim. Alright, for now, I'm going to build a really quick and dirty shells factory. But we're going to think about expanding this thing later. So you come, like, here. Yeah? That's fine. You're going to need 20 chem plants. Stick these over on this side where you have access to water. Also, I am realizing I'm shipping water in directly next to a lake. That's an interesting choice that you've made. And then you also need sulfur for this and coal. You actually don't have a way to get coal into this network right now. You may need to build a dedicated factory for this after all. Maybe you should just bite the bullet. Yeah. Let's just bite the bullet and do it the right way. Okay. Running water over this is gonna suck. Put it on a separate section of the base. Also, maybe finally time to clean up this janky power pole setup. Yeah, maybe. Alright, so. Extend you out. Perfect. Great. Totally fine. Give me a offshore pump. Beautiful. Great. Give me underground pipe. You would make that in a foundry. It would be here. Yoink. And then right over here on this side, this is where your explosives plants are going. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Slide you down. Okay. You can spit explosives out the back. And then you need half sulfur, half coal coming in the front. How much of it? You can do it. You can do it easy. Take this. Flip it. What was your plan there exactly? Yeah, this is fine. You can just do that. Explosives out here. Coal, sulfur in here. Coal, sulfur in here. Splitter here. Run it under here. Run that down there. Connect the water pipe. Connect this to the broader grid. Grab more medium electric power poles. Sure. You're gonna need more fast inserters too. Are you in the logistics network here? Not really. Okay. I was gonna say just set up a request for it, but we're technically out of coverage. Give me about that many. These. And then you need to figure out the train stops. Which should not be that hard. It's not going to have enough room to make it around that corner. In that case, you just want to unload on the other side. Can I get a 111 sulfur unload? That should exist over here at the Blue Science Factory. Grab the track with it, though. I'm lost. Here I am. You're gonna unload like this. Thereabout. And eventually you're gonna look something like that. Output right filter. Deconstruct? No, output left. Filter deconstruct. There you go. Power pole here, power pole here. Connect up there. 2, 3. Sulfur. Slide you down a bit though. There you go. And then bring the belt up. This is going to be 111 sulfur drop off. I think those should be all connected. Grab you. 1, 2, 3. The other train is a coal train. That's going to be a 141. It is going to be a 141. Coal trains are big. I forgot about that. Oh god, that's a hideous unloader. Do I have a more modern unloader somewhere? You should. Where would you have put a more modern unloader? Over here. There's a more modern unloader. One. And then ignore the track. Two. I think that's all you're gonna have room for, so you have to go like 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You need one more. 4. Station. This is 141 coal. Should be able to find that fairly easily at the oil station. 141 coal drop off. Trim that back by 1. Okay, that works. It's ugly, but it works. No, that doesn't work yet. You need a 4-to-1 balancer here. And then because you're lazy, you just run it straight under the locomotive. Hook this back up to power. I don't know what it does, but presumably it's important. No. Kill it and see if the grid still functions. Nope. That disconnects your logistics grid. Okay, in that case, maybe this is a good opportunity to formalize our logistics structure. Get these to connect here. And then that logistics station also becomes ancillary. And then you can pull this whole power line back. And then make sure you haven't disconnected your grid. It is still technically connected. It looks god-awful, but it's connected. Then you have this. These come in. We start making explosives. Good. So explosives is step 1. Step 2, calcite. Step 3, tungsten plate. Step 4, radar. We're actually done. We actually finished. Because we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Run belt down here. Run belt down here. Not even that far. Run belt down here. I do think I'm going to be lazy. And we're going to go like this. I can only resist the laziness for so long. You make shells? Wait, you don't even need to do it that aggressively. You only need to leave room for 1 inserter. There you go. Now we need requesters. Let's give our logistics drones something to do. Requester chest, please. Thank you. Okay, and then power. Enjoy it while you can, biters. Enjoy it while you can. There is a reckoning coming for you. Whoops. Oh, right, because you need to destroy this belt. There you go. Okay, copy. Paste. Get rid of these power poles. Everything else we need for these exists in the logistics network. Including a bunch of random explosives that found their way into our logistics network when we took apart the old cannon shell factory. Also including radar, randomly enough, because we added that to the bottom. So this should just sit here and crank out artillery shells. As for what we do with them, I don't think you need me to tell you. We'll be loading them onto a train. We need this to be a 141 loading train. You are going to be about this size. You are going to turn onto the main bus. We're going to move you up by like 2. Maybe like that. What are you waiting on? Calcite, tungsten plate? But they're in the hub. They're not in the hub. Volcanus Pilgrim, what are you doing? Am I not requesting calcite down here? What happened? Am I eating all of my... Oh, because it's going into the... I think it's going all into the requester chests. Yeah, because unfilled request, unfilled request. You're almost here. You're slow, though. Oh, you're running out of fuel. Oh. I need to give you more time to build up fuel. Alright, we're going to need to run the world's jankiest wire over here to our cargo hub. Add weight condition. Item count. No, wait, it's not item count. I want, like, fluid count. Circuit condition? Circuit condition. I think this needs to be a red circuit, though. So red to here. You're reading contents. Circuit thruster oxidizer greater than, let's say 15,000. And no, you're going back to Novice. I want you to sit in Novice orbit until you have generated a sufficient amount of thruster fuel. And you're going to wait here, and you're going to generate all of the oxidizer that you need. Okay? Okay. Great. Glad we had this conversation. You can slide over by 1. These splitters aren't quite right. Yeah, they're not. You need to rework the way that that happens. It's actually just going to be like that. Wait, no, this is stupid. You don't even need to use a splitter. What are you doing? You are not thinking this through at all. You sit in here. You literally just run the belt. And eventually they hit saturation. 4. Train stop. 141. Artillery. Pickup. I want this to be like the same hazard orange that the defense train is. I think that's a nice color. 255, 130, 0. Okay. And then I'm going to need your locomotive. So let's go grab some engines from Ye Olde Engine Factory. Let's go see how close we are to being empty on green circuits. Not. Still probably need like 3 more train trips out of that thing. But the base does sit here and just produce. So it's slowly happening. Right, can I please have engine? Thank you. Can I please have steel? Engines take steel. Thank you. And then 4 train cars. Love to see the coal train working. Train car. We'll go set you up at the fuel station. You are going to be a 141, so this is your loading bay. We want you to have this nice orange color. And then you don't have an artillery drop-off station yet, so we're going to let you sit there and think for a little bit. You random bits of ammo can go in here. Connect that track up. Signal it. What are you short on? Calcite. And titanium plate. The Volcano's Pilgrim does not run often enough. But this should help. I think that'll help quite a bit. If we just wait for it to be full fuel, it should make much better time as it actually makes its trips. In the meantime, I have a lot of coal that I could help you dispose of. If you're interested. Also sulfur, randomly. Also a lot of sulfur. And a lot of explosive. Maybe that stuff didn't make it into the logistics network. Here, I can just take all of this. I know what to do with it. And coal, you're good on. Okay, so. Logistics. You are obsolete. Get out of my inventory. Turn on your Volcanus trash slots, because we don't want wood, coal, iron ore, etc. on us. And then stone furnaces are also obsolete. You can get rid of those. There we go. Tidying up the inventory a little bit. Now. Now, man. we need to add a second station to each of these that requests artillery shells. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Give me 25. Give me blue inserters. Give me requester chests. Please. There we go. How's track? Track is good. Stations are good. You may need more passive providers as well. That'll do. We embark. What is the defense train up to these days? It really does not feel like it's making any progress. Defense train, I'm just gonna watch you quick. What you doing down here? What you got going on? Okay, but why? Why have you unloaded nothing but bots at that station?
I didn't understand.
That's okay, Google Home. I wasn't talking to you. L less than 50. Because you're on a different signal. You need to be on red. You aren't supposed to be on green anymore. You're supposed to be on red. How many stations is that screwed up on? I would guess a concerning amount. None here. Okay, good. We've got that problem before it can spread. How about here? Good. We've caught it before it can spread. Up here. We have not caught it. But it hasn't really filled that many up. Also, you aren't requesting. No, you're not supposed to request. You're done. You are requesting. You have more drones than you should. Now, there's still a problem with this, and the problem is, why aren't things like bricks getting unloaded? But I'm going to have to keep watching the train to try and catch that happening. You're heading to defense ammo. I just want to watch you work for a little bit. Figure out what your problem is. Just go to the next station. I just want to see what you do. Which one are you trying to go to? The same one. But I want to see if you unload the things you're supposed to unload. Do you have brick on you? You have 43 brick. And then another 174 brick. So you should be able to unload brick. If you don't unload brick, then we know that we have some kind of problem. Brick is full. What are you missing then? You're missing hazard. Oh, because we never put a hazard concrete assembling machine down there. That's why it keeps requesting a train. We never gave it one of these things. It's my mistake. I'm the fool. Let's go build you one of those. Yeah, that would be why nothing's getting done. Because that station's been trying to request hazard concrete for like an hour. But it has no way of building it. I think. We'll find out. We'll go see. Wow, very polluted down here. Is this just how far my pollution cloud reaches? Yes. Okay. It is indeed. Let's turn that back off. I was saving these requester chests for something important, but I guess this is fine. So you guys make hazard concrete. You will request normal concrete out of that box. And then I'll be taking a bunch of these home with me. Because you don't need them all. How much ammo do these guys have? Not a ton. Okay, I think this one is working now. There is oil down there. No, I'm going to start at a wall that's already built. We'll head over to this one over here. And we'll give the artillery a test go. Wait, are these waiting for landfill? Yeah, I think they are. Oh, but you threw all your stone away. Oh. Do it another time. Remember when we used to have to walk around this lake instead of just over it? That was brutal. So, here is the second rail that we left ourselves. We need room for a 141 to park here. I think I can slide you all the way back to like here. To here. This is 141. Go grab the station color. 141 artillery drop-off. You are going to go like this, 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 this. And then we're going to extend your power pole coverage. What signal reads logistic network contents? None signal reads contents. In that case, I can just read off of one of these chests. And if one of those chests has less than 40 shells, let's say, then we know that we need a train here. And then... Are you guys deadlocked? What are you trying to do exactly? What are you trying to do? Oh, you're blocking. Okay, well, it's time to get you moving then. 141 artillery pickup. 141 artillery drop off. 141 artillery drop off. Wait until full. Artillery drop off. Time passed. 30 seconds. Add interrupt. 141 low fuel. Automatic. Go. So that's going to summon the artillery train down here. Then we need something for the artillery to shoot. And I think we're just going to do some big artillery turret emplacements like this. So everywhere there's a gun turret, there's also going to be an artillery turret. You are requesting 100. You're also requesting 30 shells. And then we'll just have a second inserter that puts into you. This actually means we shouldn't need any extra requester chests. We can just run off the ones we have already. And then we're going to see just how violent this wall gets after we fire off a ton of artillery. So you should be over here loading. You're going to take a while because the Volcanus ship needs to fill up, and you're going to be out of things like calcite and tungsten and all the other goodies that you need to make artillery shells. Yeah, you're out of both. So we need Volcanus Pilgrim to hurry up. You're slow on tungsten plate. Is that a rocket issue? You're out of rocket fuel. I thought I fixed that problem. I guess you're still not fast enough. We need even more rocket fuel production. We're going to have to extend that line upwards. No, it's not just that. Because, oh, you're not set to automatically fill platform requests. I think that might be part of the problem as well. Because we should have plenty of ingots. We do have plenty of ingots. We have 2,400. So you're built. Oh, you're taking off already. You got your stuff. Okay. No, you did not get your stuff. 50... No, you did get your stuff. That's just how much 500 ingots looks like. Maybe you should add more than 500 ingots. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Either way. Just because I want it to do a test fire, let's have you go manually. I just want to see this work, and then we're going to be done for the night. It's pushing 1:30 here. I gotta start getting ready for bed. But I really want to see these artillery shells shoot. Everything has been leading up to this. Oh, convenient timing. Owned. Extremely owned. So you unload. Logistics drones see them. Pick them up. Why do you only have 3? Where are the rest of my drones? Oh, they're coming. Okay. All of these are going to start turning. They're going to start auto-firing. Everything inside this red circle can be hit. We need a little bit more artillery damage because we're not quite one-shotting these things, but we can deal with that at a later time. And then let's see if this is a problem. It shouldn't be, but let's see if it is. It's not really a problem. It's looking very healthy. Those walls did not take damage. Okay, I am feeling very comfortable with the overall strength of this wall setup. This is going to let us reclaim quite a bit of territory that exists outside of our current factory, which is good because we are production limited on oil. And I have concerns about the longevity of our uranium ore with 3 nuclear reactors running full time. So we're going to be looking at acquiring that uranium ore. We're going to be looking at acquiring that oil, that oil, that oil, this oil, and I thought there was one more, and this oil. So that's going to bolster up our plastic production. It's going to keep our red chip production more stable. And all in all, it's going to keep us having a very nice and fun time in this factory. But for now, that's where I'm going to be done. I am going to head downstairs, tidy a couple things up, and then I'm going to take off and go to bed. We will be streaming Factorio again tomorrow after Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 will be at 9. Factorio will be after. If you'd like a ping for when that's going to happen, hop into the Discord, sign yourself up for the Twitch pings role, and you will be notified when stream is going live in the future. There's also the VODs channel if you want to catch up on Factorio that we've done in the past, and if you are a Guild Wars 2 holdover, there is the YouTube channel for edited, curated World vs. World videos. I will see you guys around tomorrow for continued adventures in the mists, and then following that on Nauvis and other planets to come. But until then, take care, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.